Hello again, I'm Peter Alsop, and this week's Song to Chew was recorded on two of my albums, Plugging Away and Songs on Recovery and Addiction. It's called What If? It's a song that addresses how we create scary stories sometimes to explain things going on around us that we don't understand. And then our imagination takes off and amplifies our fears. This process can stop us in our tracks and make things worse. So we take a look at how we can change our stories and our reactions and learn how to respond instead of react. We can lighten things up a bit and instead of dwelling on our fears, try using a bit of humor to help us walk through what's going on. We'll talk more about this after we listen to our Song to Chew for today from Plugging Away, What If?
Sometimes I worry about scary stuff and then it never happens.
Me too. I have a very active imagination. I'm not scared, but sometimes when it's late at night, the wind blows and the trees start scratching on my window, I get frightened. Because I sleep upstairs and I know no one's that tall. I start thinking, what if it's not a tree at all? What if it's a giant rat who lives across the street? What if he's just starving? What if he needs meat to eat? What if he's been sniffing me and I smell like rat chow? What if that's him climbing up my gutter pipe right now? Ah! What if that question fills my brain? I scare myself so much that I get totally insane. What if I hate to be afraid? Half the stuff I'm scared of never happens anyway. But what about the other half? I'm not scared, but sometimes I get a little freaky. Like when there's no one in the house, it really feels creepy. I hold my breath and listen for anything that moves. Then I start thinking, what if something's holding its breath too? What if slimy hands are waiting underneath my bed? What if it's a headhunter out to get ahead? What if zombie dead men want to drag me down their hole? What if there's a lobster lurking in my toilet bowl? What if that question fills my brain? I scare myself so much that I get totally insane. What if I think of something else? If I imagine funny things, then I won't scare myself. I'm not scared, but sometimes our house begins to shake. It's like a kind of rumble thump, like it's about to break. It's probably just our dog upstairs bouncing on the bed. But then I hear him outside barking in the shed. Uh-oh, what if it's an earthquake? Oh no, I've got to stop. I've got to think of funny things, no more scary thoughts. What if it's an elephant falling down on skates? What if cows get so shook up they only give milkshakes? What if it's a giant pickle on a pogo stick racing with King Kong who's wearing shoes made out of bricks? It's working! Hey, it's working! This is really, really great! So what if it's a dragon jogging by to lose some weight? What if, oh, now I'm not so scared. I can make up funny things and my fears disappear. What if, like me, you're sensitive? Do not scare yourself to death, 'cause that's no way to live. What if I can't think of anything funny? I know, I can sing the song. Maybe if I can remember the words. How does it go? Oh.
Art Munson engineered this song with us. Miriam Cutler and Shelby Flint added their marvelous background vocals, and the incredible Novi Novog graced us with her electric viola playing. She used to play with Frank Zappa. I'm not scared, but sometimes. It's all right there in the first line of the song, the but sometimes part. People don't like to admit that they're scared, especially us men and boys, since we've learned that real men and real boys don't get scared. Ha! But have you ever been in an earthquake? Have you ever been so frightened that you couldn't move? What do we do to keep from being frightened when we're scared? Well, when we're afraid, most of us automatically react to things that happen around us. Those reactions come out of our need for self-preservation and protection. We jump when we hear a dog bark or a really loud noise. We flinch when something flies close by our head. We avoid things that appear unfamiliar or scary or dangerous to us. It's how we've learned to take care of ourselves and survive. But there are times when we react with fear to something or someone that really isn't dangerous. If we were perhaps bitten by a dog when we were little, then all dogs may appear dangerous to us because we've learned to associate dogs with our story about being bitten. Even if another dog is not going to bite us and it is not threatening us, we react to our story and we're plunged into fear. We believe that we're threatened again in the same way we were the first time. It's a form of trauma. And our own story recreates the automatic reaction again. It's what we call having our buttons pushed. When we have lots of those stories that trigger us, living a balanced life can become very difficult because we find ourselves constantly reacting with fear to things going on around us. And then our imaginations build up our stories about what could happen. It becomes a cycle of more and more fear and trepidation, when actually the chances of something dangerous happening may be minuscule. This is when we can go to work to learn how to respond to scary things rather than simply react to a scary stimulus. In order to start, we need to understand that the stories we tell ourselves are amazingly powerful factors in determining how our life unfolds. Stories that scare us, oh no, we're all going to die, or disempower us, I could never do that, or push our self-righteous anger button, oh dare they treat me like that, I'll show them a thing or two. All of these stories can be changed, and we can change them. We can learn to pause and assess what's going on around us, and then respond in a more balanced way rather than simply react and re-trigger our knee-jerk fearful story. It's okay and very appropriate to be afraid or scared sometimes. We should never try to squash our feelings down. It's better to recognize they're there. But when we consistently and compulsively think thoughts that make us even more scared and worried so that we can't function very well, then we need to come up with some other stories to help us manage our fears. When we're frightened or angry or sad, it's really difficult to think of pleasant or funny things right on the spot to change our story or our attitude. But we can do it. This What If song models a technique for anyone, kids or adults, who want to change their trigger stories. I've tried it many times, and it seems to work. When my brain gets full of fear and I can't think straight, I try to think of some ridiculous, silly, or funny images to inject into my story to lighten it up a bit. Sometimes I even make myself laugh, and that simple change helps me see options that I never would have seen if I had stayed locked in my fear. Just because something's serious doesn't mean it's not funny. I've also done some preparation for scary times that you might want to try. Sometime when you're not scared and not in any danger, think of some of the funny things that make you laugh. Then write them down on a piece of paper or draw a picture. If you've been out with some friends and got laughing so hard you couldn't stop, go add that note to your list. Then put all those notes away in an envelope somewhere safe. And the next time you're feeling worried or afraid of something, take out your envelope and see if you can insert some of those ideas from your notes into the story that's scaring you. That's worked for me many times. That's probably plenty to chew on for today. I'm Peter Alsop. Please let your friends know about this podcast, and I'll see you again next week with another song to chew. Bye for now.